CES 2026 just wrapped up, and the announcements from Nvidia, AMD, Intel, and Qualcomm are absolutely insane. I'll break down everything they revealed and what it means for the future. We've also got Neuralink's vision implants, humanoid robots hitting factories, plus an AI supercomputer that fits in your pocket. And China just did something that has Silicon Valley in absolute shock. Trust me, this video is packed with some seriously game-changing tech news, so stick around till the end. Let's dive in. First up, let's talk about Samsung, because this comeback story is absolutely wild. Samsung just reported their Q4 2024 results, and the numbers are insane. Operating profit jumped 160% to hit $11.7 billion. That's their highest quarterly profit since 2018. So what caused this profit explosion? Simple. The AI boom has sent memory chip prices through the roof. DDR5 DRAM chip prices are up 314% because training AI models requires massive amounts of memory. Here's the interesting backstory. Just a year ago, Samsung's CEO publicly apologized for disappointing performance. Their rival SK Hynix was beating them, especially in supplying high-end chips to Nvidia. But now, Samsung is back in the game. Their stock jumped 125% last year. The AI-driven chip shortage is a golden opportunity for Samsung. But here's my concern. If chip prices keep skyrocketing like this, PCs and smartphones are going to get more expensive, which could eventually slow down consumer demand. So long-term sustainability is a real question mark here. Next, let's talk about AMD, because they came out swinging at CES 2026. On the consumer side, AMD launched their Ryzen AI 400 series with desktop versions for the first time. Gaming fans also got the Ryzen 7 9850X3D, basically a higher clocked version of the 9800X3D. But the real game changer is on the data center side. AMD unveiled their Helios AI rack system, and CEO Lisa Su boldly claimed it's the world's best AI rack. This is direct competition with Nvidia systems. And get this, their upcoming MI500 series GPUs are claiming a 1000x AI performance increase compared to the MI300X. AMD's vision? They believe 5 billion people will be using AI daily within the next 5 years. Honest opinion, AMD is competing aggressively, but Nvidia is still the dominant player. That said, AMD's diversified approach across gaming, PC, and data center gives them stability. And ultimately, competition is great for us consumers. Better products, better prices. Now let's talk about the king of the industry, Nvidia. Jensen Huang dropped a bombshell at CES 2026. The Vera Rubin platform is already in full production. This is Blackwell's successor, and it's literally the next frontier of AI computing. Key specs: 6-chip architecture, 5x better performance for AI inference, and token generation costs will drop by 10x. That means AI chatbots and applications will run faster and cheaper. Launch partners: AWS, Google Cloud, Microsoft, Oracle. Basically every major cloud provider is adopting Vera Rubin. Microsoft is deploying it in their future AI superfactory sites. Nvidia also announced Alpamayo, an open-source reasoning AI for autonomous driving. Mercedes-Benz's CLA will already be using it. Nvidia's dominance is undeniable with that $4.5 trillion market cap. But there is a long-term challenge. Google and Amazon are developing their own AI chips. Competition is definitely heating up, but honestly, Nvidia's engineering excellence and yearly innovation cadence keeps them ahead of the pack. Let's move on to Intel's comeback attempt. Intel launched their Core Ultra Series 3 processors. This is Intel's first 18A process technology product, and it's completely designed and manufactured in the USA. Specs: NPU with 50 TOPS AI performance can run a 70 billion parameter model locally. Intel claims 1.9x better performance in edge AI workloads. Context is important here. Intel has been struggling for the past few years. AMD and Qualcomm have been eating into their market share. Their stock is still down 20% from 2021 despite recent recovery. My honest opinion, Intel is historically a strong company with massive engineering talent. But the problem is, AMD with TSMC partnership and Qualcomm with their Snapdragon X series have already provided strong alternatives. Intel needs to deliver on both price competitiveness and actual performance. The good news? At least they launched the product on time. Let's see how it performs in 2026. Now let's talk about the future of manufacturing, humanoid robots. Hyundai Motor Group announced they'll be deploying humanoid robots at their US manufacturing plant in Georgia starting in 2028. Key capabilities: can lift 110 pounds, has human-scale hands with tactile sensing, and fully autonomous operation. Timeline: 2028 for path sequencing tasks, 2030 for component assembly. Hyundai's goal is ambitious. They want to produce 30,000 humanoid robots annually by 2028. Now here's the controversial part. Labor unions are concerned about job displacement, and honestly, that's a legitimate worry. Look, automation is inevitable. Giving dangerous, repetitive, heavy lifting jobs to robots actually makes sense for worker safety. But the transition period is crucial. Companies need to take responsibility with reskilling programs, gradual transitions, and creating new roles in robotics maintenance and supervision. The physical AI market is projected to hit $1 trillion by 2040. We can't stop this change, but we can manage it properly. Quick regulatory update from Italy. Italy's antitrust authority closed their investigation into the Chinese AI system, DeepSeek. DeepSeek agreed to provide better warnings about AI hallucination risks. Basically, when AI confidently gives you false information. Why does this matter? This is probably the first major regulatory action specifically targeting AI hallucination risk disclosure. This is actually a good development. AI hallucinations are a real problem. I've personally experienced cases where AI confidently gives wrong information. Users need to clearly understand that AI sometimes makes mistakes, especially for critical decisions in legal, medical, or financial matters. Mind-blowing update. The world's smallest AI supercomputer. US startup Tiny AI just unveiled what Guinness World Records has verified as the world's smallest AI supercomputer. Check out these specs. Weighs just 300 grams, but it can run a 120 billion parameter large language model completely offline. It's got 80 GB RAM, 1 terabyte SSD, and only consumes 65 watts of power. How is this even possible? Two breakthrough technologies, TurboSparse and PowerInfer. They demonstrated running a 120B model on a 2011 PC at 20 tokens per second. Use cases: developers, privacy-sensitive work like lawyers and doctors, situations with no internet connectivity, PhD-level reasoning locally. It supports Llama, Qwen, DeepSeek, and Mistral models. My brutally honest opinion. This is game-changing. Cloud dependency is a major issue. Privacy concerns, subscription costs, internet dependency. Finally, the your data, your device concept is becoming real. But there are still questions about cost and performance consistency that need to be answered. Moving to robotics, Qualcomm's big announcement. Qualcomm unveiled their Dragonwing IQ10 series processor at CES 2026, specifically designed for industrial autonomous mobile robots and full-size humanoid robots. Qualcomm is clearly diversifying beyond smartphones. Who's the competition? Primarily Nvidia's Jetson platform. But Qualcomm's advantage is 40 years of mobile chip experience. Power efficiency is their specialty. The robotics ecosystem is still fragmented. Qualcomm's platform approach is good. They are providing a full stack solution, not just a chip. But realistically, Nvidia's ecosystem is already strong. Qualcomm will need aggressive pricing and strong developer support. That said, competition is good. Eventually, we'll get cheaper and better robotic solutions. Important legal update: AI copyright battles. 2026 is going to be a pivotal year in US courts for AI copyright battles. The big question: did AI companies use copyrighted material for training without permission? Is it fair use or copyright infringement? Major lawsuits: New York Times versus OpenAI and Microsoft. Authors versus Anthropic with a $1.5 billion settlement. Music publishers versus AI music generators. Courts are divided. Some judges say AI training is transformative and supports fair use. Others warn that AI could flood the market and harm human creators. The economic impact is massive. If courts mandate licensing, AI companies could have to pay billions of dollars to content creators. Business models would completely change. My nuanced opinion: this is a genuinely complex issue. Both sides have valid arguments. We need a balanced approach with transparency, opt-out mechanisms, reasonable compensation, and attribution systems. Courts need to balance innovation and technological progress with creators' rights and compensation. Hopefully, we'll get clarity by the end of 2026. Now let's jump into health tech. Neuralink's vision implant trials. This is straight out of a science fiction movie, folks. Neuralink is about to start trials for their vision implant designed for people who are completely blind. They'll get a chip implanted that helps them see. In the beginning, the visual quality will be pretty basic. Think old school video games. But the long-term goal is what they're calling supervision. We're talking about seeing in infrared, ultraviolet, radar wavelengths, plus the ability to zoom in. I mean, who even is this person going to be? And here's the wild part. Right now, these implants are for people with disabilities. But Neuralink is planning to mass produce brain implants by 2026. So in the future, implants might become as common as wearables are today. Imagine this, an implant connects directly to your brain. AI models are already incredibly advanced. Everything syncs together seamlessly. You feel cold? Your brain sends a signal to adjust the temperature automatically. That would be absolutely incredible. Next up, China's open source AI model that's beating the big players. This is flying under the radar, but it's huge. China just released an open source model that's outperforming both Sonnet 4.5 and GPT-4o in coding benchmarks. This is a 40 billion parameter model, which means if you've got decent hardware, you can run it locally. And it's competing with Sonnet 4.5, which is one of the top tier paid tools out there. You could say open source technology from China is about 6 months behind closed source tools, but it's catching up fast. Plus, fewer parameters mean it runs faster and requires less computing power. Check out the benchmarks. Their iQuest Coder model is beating Gemini 2.0 Pro in several areas. I'm not saying this open source model is going to destroy everything, but progress is happening in 6-month leaps. Here's where it gets interesting. Perplexity's CEO recently said that on-device AI could disrupt the entire data center industry. And I've been saying this for a while. Everyone's racing to build data centers, but I think the real future is in smaller models that can run on phones and computers. That's going to be the go-to solution. ByteDance just solved AI video generation's biggest problem. Let's talk about ByteDance because they've cracked what might be AI video generation's biggest headache: consistency. Here's the deal. Right now, when you generate videos with any AI tool, the faces and scenes are all over the place. You upload a photo of yourself in one pose and it looks fine. But the moment the angle changes or a new scene comes in, everything falls apart. Your face morphs, the lighting's off, it's a complete mess. ByteDance figured out a solution using what's basically a temporary memory system. They're storing keyframes in memory that get referenced when generating new scenes. And the difference is night and day. When you compare their model to everything else on the market, it's not even close. Now that ByteDance has cracked this, everyone else is going to figure it out too. But here's what I think needs to happen next. We need LoRa model support. Imagine uploading multiple photos of yourself from different angles, different expressions. The AI learns exactly how you smile, how you look from every angle. Once it has that data locked in, generating videos becomes incredibly easy. I really think companies should be rolling out this feature because honestly, the technology is already there. Interesting moment from the tech world. A Google engineer praising Claude. There was this tweet from a Google engineer that got people talking. They were praising Claude and folks were like, wait, Google employees are hyping up the competition? What's going on? First off, there's been talk in the market that Google might actually acquire Anthropic since they hold a significant equity stake and were an early investor. So who knows, maybe Claude becomes a Google product down the line. But right now, they're separate. Here's what the engineer said. I spent an entire year trying to solve this problem. I gave Claude the same problem and it solved it in one shot. Now that doesn't mean Claude just wasted a year of their work. It means AI models are advancing so rapidly that older approaches are becoming outdated. But there's another factor at play here: experience. If I write a prompt about digital marketing and you write one, our outputs are going to be different. If an industry expert writes one, they'll get even better results because they know all the nuances. This engineer probably wrote an incredibly detailed, well-structured prompt based on years of experience, which is why they got such amazing results. Let's talk about some potential big moves. The information is predicting that OpenAI might acquire Pinterest in 2026. The reasoning makes sense. Pinterest has a massive library of images that could be used to train models. They also have an established ad network, which could integrate seamlessly with OpenAI's ecosystem. Pinterest's current market cap is around $17.5 billion. This would be OpenAI's biggest acquisition. Strategically, this makes sense. Google combined search plus AI for Gemini. OpenAI needs a similar data platform to compete, but regulatory scrutiny will definitely be intense. Staying with OpenAI, they are planning to launch a new AI architecture in Q1 2026 that's supposed to be more natural, more emotional, and more accurate. It'll handle in-depth responses better, process faster, and deal with interruptions more smoothly. And let me tell you, interruptions are my biggest pet peeve. I'll be talking, some background noise happens, and the AI just stops. Then I have to keep saying continue, continue, it's so annoying. It works fine on my phone, but on my computer, I've had tons of issues. So if they fix that, it'll be a huge improvement. Also, OpenAI is shifting production to Foxconn. They were originally planning to manufacture in China, but now they're moving to Vietnam and the US. Their hardware, whether it's a pen or some small device, is coming soon. Sam Altman even said this device will be a phone alternative that works without a screen. Curious to see what that looks like. Jumping to another update, Alibaba just dropped their new Quen image model and it's showing serious improvements over their previous version. Looking at the benchmarks, this is legitimately the most powerful open source option right now. The past few months have been a total game changer for image generation. Face consistency has gotten so good that these tools are actually fun to use now. Last but not least, moving on to Apple, their next chip, the A20 for the iPhone 18 series, is going to be 80% more expensive than the previous generation. Why? 3 reasons. It's the first 2nm chip they're producing, there's a global silicon shortage happening, and the manufacturing process itself is incredibly complex. Performance gains are there. 15 to 18% better speed or 36% better power efficiency. But consumer prices will definitely be impacted. Cutting-edge technology comes at a price. Apple has historically accepted higher manufacturing costs for competitive edge. But if iPhone 18 prices increase significantly, it'll be interesting to see the market reaction. Alright, those were all the major tech updates for today. From Samsung to Apple, from Nvidia to Neuralink, you can see how rapidly technology is evolving in 2026. What do you think? Would you get a Neuralink brain implant in the future? Do you think humanoid robots will take jobs? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Smash that like button, hit subscribe, and don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss an update. See you in the next one.